We've got high hopes for this contest with these two fighters. Should be a really good matchup. Alexander Usyk, the former... So much hype surrounding this big... You're expecting an all-action slugfest. Look at that right hand. How about that time counter shot? By the way, the connect percentages have to be off the charts. Counter fighter relies a lot on their instincts and reaction time. You've got to get there quick to punch your opponent before he gets his fist back to block.
They have got great ring IQ. Counter punches are the best.
Might want to think of holding on here for a minute. Time they throw a shot, they get countered. Straight right, just misses. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. This fighter focuses on those long, straight punches, staying on the outside, and winning round after round.
Oh, this is what it's all about. Hit and don't get hit. Jab, move, pop, slip. Use your footwork. Drive your opponent crazy.
Halfway through the round, and it's pretty much even Steven.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Now, this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you. And so I got to respect both of them. More than happy.
They are not going to let this one go to the judges. He missed with the jab. That counter punch caught him clean. As it is in most heavyweight fights, don't blink because one big shot and this thing could be over. They both want the knockout. Swing and a miss with that hook. Nice slip to avoid the jab. There's a counter shot. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Who's going to land the first big shot? That last round was huge for him, Johnny. How does he keep the momentum going?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
One punch could end this fight for either of these two heavyweights.
Now this is about desire. This is about character. This is about want.
This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. A lot of effort being exerted here. Nice counter shot. His stamina is off the charts. We've seen in the past from this fighter, they don't get concerned when they lose some of the earlier rounds because they know they've got that power that can strike at any moment.
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
We're at the halfway point of this round, and both of these fighters have had their moments. Still could go either way.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Is he going to punch himself out, though? Punch, counter punch. Those counter punches have to hurt. Do you believe what we're seeing? This is the heavyweight division. One punch could end this fight.
What you've got to do, Teddy, is anticipation. You've got to wait. You just got to throw caution to the wind and just hope. You're never going to know where the shots are coming from. You just got to put in the guess.
And he just misses with that jab. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about out. There's the bell to start round 3. Let's see how much recovery they saw there in the last minute.
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me, personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
You can't make a mistake at the heavyweight level and not expect to be punished for it. You can't throw out a lazy jab in this fight. You're going to get knocked out. And he scores with the counter. Power is obviously the great equalizer in boxing, but when you know your opponent is relying on that so heavily, how do you deal with it?
It's the one who draws first blood, Tom. That's what you've got to look at. If you're there and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
Holding nothing back here in the round. Stamina is off the charts. Catch and shoot. Some nice exchanges from both men in this round.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Well, Johnny, it's still early on, but what do you think about what we're seeing so far?
Todd, you know what? Sometimes when they're building the ring with fights like that, and you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out there because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
Nice counter punch right up the middle. No stamina, no injury, but still throwing punches. The only fear you have with this fighter is, has he punched himself out?
Yo, these announcers are getting fucking annoying.
Straight right, just misses. Nice counter shot. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. In that last round. I'm worried about these two fighters gassing out as this fight goes on.
This is when you talk about championship material.
Come on, son. That's it. Breathe. Just get just to focus on what you're doing. You don't want to lose this fight. I mean, already that right hand is beautiful.
Damn, they're looking like young Ali right there. God dang.
Get back behind your jab. Basic. Just get your rhythm back and then we go again. Just the same boxing. Just be smart. Just get your shots off and don't give them in. You were thinking you were smart.
Time winding down as we get set for another round.
Mistakes and switching off. I need you to get the jab and don't get carried away. Think about the defence on the end of what you're doing.
Here we go to the fourth round. How much is left in their tank after last round?
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
These are heavyweights, but I tell you what, that hand speed and footwork, they look like middleweights.
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
That hook was thrown with some bad intentions. Good counter punching. Incredible work rate. He threw a punch and just got countered. He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. Beautiful counter shot. I think it's safe to say one of these fighters certainly has a significant speed advantage. You can tell who it is.
You've got to ruffle their feathers, Todd. You cannot let them get comfortable, drag them, get them complaining to the referee, because once somebody with excellent foot speed and excellent power gets into the rhythm, the fight is over.
Tough to be a judge in this fight as both fighters have had their big moments.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Beautiful counter punch. Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. He's putting the pedal to the metal, but has to be careful that he doesn't run out of gas. Throws the jab, but it doesn't score. Going to punch himself out, though. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left.
Bitch.
Let's talk about Alexander Usyk.
Fucking bitch. Busted me the fuck up.
Back into the fray here in round 5. That 1 minute break surely wasn't enough for him to completely recover.
What were they doing that round? Are they trying to get an earning out? That's a lot of energy burst. They did 6 rounds in 1. They're going to be absolutely shattered.
Good counter punch. Endurance is becoming a factor. You can see this fighter having a hard time getting out of the way of punches, and they're not throwing as many on their own.
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym, you can do it in a fight. They've got to relax.
The only fear you have with this heavyweight is has he punched himself out? What heart, what desire, but at what cost? Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. That counter shot lands. This fighter has been extremely aggressive so far, Johnny, but how do they keep it up over the distance of this fight?
How do you deal with an aggressive fighter? What you do is you fight.
Usyk couldn't take anymore and
Oh!
wow, let's take a
I banged that boy. As soon as he came in, I banged the shit out of him.
One, two, three, four. You still want to fight?
Nobody's moving their mouth. I love it. Graphics are fucking insane, though.
I'm not sure why.
Hard, he's up. I'll be surprised if he makes it back to the corner. And if he does, will he get back up from the stool again? That was a shot.
It's a good start to the round for this guy.
Perfect game plan. The thing is, can anybody figure out what to do to change this? It's a perfect start.
They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. The straight right just misses. Both men step back for just a moment. Ten seconds to go, and what domination. The unified heavyweight champion.
Yo! I knocked this fool straight out!
To see that again.
Fuck, bitch!
Out! One, two, three, four.
Let's talk about Alexander Usyk. There's the bell to start round 6. Let's see if they can shake off the cobwebs after a disastrous last round.
2 knockdowns, and you're coming back from that. That's near on impossible, because your head must be all over the place. Your legs will feel like jelly. What can they tell you in the corner? All they can do is wake you up. They can't even go into game plan.
Generally speaking, you don't watch heavyweights to see a boxing match. You want to see a fist fight.
So you're getting in there with someone that's so fast, you're prepared to take a licking, because you've got to get some before you get in close.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. That left hook missed. That uppercut doesn't land. They hit like heavyweights, but they move like middleweights. Truly elite level stuff here.
This could be really intimidating, Todd. If you know somebody's got the punch power, someone's got the speed, it can be intimidating. Just depends on how confident you are as a fighter.
His stamina is off the charts. The perfect counter lands. Well, they're going deep into the gas tank on this round. Perfect counter shot. The jab doesn't quite connect. They exchange punches. You can tell one of these fighters is starting to fade. What does he need to do to get back in this contest?
Well, you've got 2 fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Starting to take some deep breaths now, but still fighting hard. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Alexander Usyk in that last round. We'll see how much endurance these two fighters have.
There's a lot on the line here.
Okay, now you're switching off. I need you to focus on what you're doing. Done. The jab's working nice. Well, 1-2 straight. You're better than this, kid. Go back out there and win the round. Get back by. Into the fight. Great round. So just keep him on the end of his jab. Get me timing already. The right hand's beautiful. That's it. Start just sticking a few body shots in there a little bit. Get focused. Get your mind back on the job. Get back out there and win. Good work. You was thinking. You were smart. You weren't loading up. You don't want to lose this fight, do you? Come on. You've let him back into this. Think about the defense and remember what you do. Good work. Back behind you. Just get your rhythm back.
Unfortunately, this fighter not going to get more time to heal up as we get set to jump back in the action.
You got to go out there and win this round. You had everything in the bag, and now you've let him back in.
And there's the bell for round 7. They really seemed to exhaust themselves last round. Let's see what they have left.
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
The straight right just misses. Nice counter. Well, Johnny, as you know, there's a fine line between being aggressive and being too aggressive.
This is about ego. Get your ego in check, Todd, because if you fight a man that is used to doing this, he's confident and comfortable doing this, why are you giving him that chance to dance that dance? Step out of the way, box him, frustrate him, because if you let him get away with it, he'll close you down.
Swing and a miss with that left hook. You can see the heavy breathing, but that's not slowing him down. Well done with that counter shot. In the build-up to this fight, Johnny, this power puncher told us, listen, I don't care if it's round 1 or round 12, I've got enough power and confidence to end this in one shot.
Sometimes when you get nervous and they're so powerful, you've got to think him. You've just got to be smarter than him. You've got to be like a little Fagin and pickpocket him.
Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. Nice counter punch. Straight right just misses. Stamina is so important for these two fighters because it allows them to use their skills throughout the match. It can all come down to who's in better shape.
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
Stamina is off the charts. And he scores with the counter. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go.
Woo!
Alexander Usyk in that last round.
Trying to bust this bitch up.
Was put in for this fight, and they come down. And there's the bell for round 8. How much do they have left in the tank after that last round?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
Beautiful counter shot. Missed him with that uppercut. Counter shot lands. And that jab just missed with the left hand. They're both looking for the knockouts here, and that's what we expect from heavyweights.
What can they change? They can change their attitude. They can change their nervous system for a certain amount of punches per round. Because otherwise, if they deviate from the game plan, they're going to be shattered once again, and the fight will be over.
Those counter punches have to hurt. Got out of the way of that right hook. Beautiful counter shot. A lot of effort being exerted here. Nice counter. In the early rounds of a fight, you'll see two boxers feel each other out, test each other's power, and I think this boxer has decided I can walk through anything that lands.
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics. Sometimes it's so hard to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
Incredible work rate. Nope, that hook won't score. Perfect counter shot. They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. Nope, that jab not going to score. Beautiful counter punch. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Ogden. Let's see how much fatigue we see here in round 9. Not sure these two fighters can keep up the pace we saw last round, but you know they're going to try.
What are they doing that now? Are they trying to get an early night? That's a lot of energy burst. They did 6 rounds in one. They're going to be absolutely shattered.
There's a counter shot. They call it the chin. How strong is your chin? Do you have a glass chin? These are things that can affect the fight.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those point areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You just got to try and cut them, skin them, go for speed.
And that left hook doesn't find its target. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Catch and shoot. His stamina is off the charts. Nice counter shot. There's nothing quite like a big heavyweight fight. Everything can change with one punch.
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym, you can do it in a fight. They've got to relax.
Those counter punches have to hurt. And just as quickly as it slows down, it heats back up. Nice idea with the jab, but does not land. How about that time counter shot? Trying to land that jab. There's a big difference between being the aggressor and the effective aggressor. Which type are we seeing so far?
I've seen some aggressive fighters. They can terrorize the life out of you before they've even thrown their shot. The strength they have, the speed they have, and that knockout punch, they want to punch through you. They don't want to punch you. They want to punch straight through you. So you've got to be careful.
This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Alex. We've made it to round 10. Fatigue is setting in. Let's see how they handle it here in this round. Big shot, and down goes Ali. And as you can see here, a picture-perfect punch did the trick.
Shot from the gods, they...
Will you continue?
They got knocked down, but didn't stay down. Once again, showing you how much grit and courage this fighter has.
Well, now it's about getting back to the corner, freshen up, get new instructions given to you, and they've got to G you up. They've got to tell you what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right.
A swing and a miss with the left hook. Is he going to punch himself out, though? Holding nothing back here in the round. Nice counter shot. Well, just a couple rounds left, Johnny. What's your assessment so far?
This can be so frustrating when you're under such a fast fighter that can throw 3-4 shot combinations before you've even let one. That creates frustration, and that's when it gets hard.
I need to turn this around halfway through.
It's not that ever hope. Remember the fighter Evander Holyfield? He could be behind on points up until the last 10 seconds, but he's fighting like he's going to put it back. That's the kind of hope we need to see.
Starting to take some deep breaths now, but still fighting hard. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Is he going to punch himself out, though? One punch changes everything in this division. It's the heavyweights.
Hard look back in history. Sugar Ray Leonard against Roberto Duran. The first fight, Sugar Ray Leonard tried to fight, stand there toe-to-toe with him. The second fight, he thought, this guy's aggressive. He's nasty. He'll do everything to get the win. I've got to box him. I've got to destroy him. I've got to humiliate him and show him how good a boxer I am. That's the only way you beat an aggressive fighter. Show your boxing skills. Step out the way. Don't fight fire with fire. Use brain over brawn.
Final 2 seconds here, and this has not been his round for sure. Let's talk about Ali in that match. This is the 11th. We've entered the championship rounds. Let's see how he bounces back here after getting dropped in the last round.
What a knockdown. 1 minute. You need 1 hour to get over a shot like that. Now it's down to conditioning. Now it's down to mental strength and preparation. It's how you are going to deal with this.
Lucky that hook didn't score. A perfect counter lands. You can see the heavy breathing, but that's not slowing him down. So far, it seems like aggression has been the key. This fighter just not slowing down.
I've seen some aggressive fighters like this, and they are a nightmare. If you are not fit, that is the worst place to be, having second thoughts in the ring.
He threw a punch and just got countered. He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. The only fear you have with this heavyweight is has he punched himself out? figure out the combination to this save?
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
This fighter has determined that they can walk through any punches that their opponent throws, and that's a very confident spot to be in.
I've seen some fighters with a granite chin. You can hit them with a sledgehammer, they are not going to move. But then I've seen some mad punchers with a chin like a cliff. As soon as you touch them, they're gone. And this is the danger spot.
He's putting the pedal to the metal, but has to be careful that he doesn't run out of gas. Stamina is off the charts. Miss with that jab. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Alexander Usyk in that last round. Stamina is up. On to the 12th. Was 1 minute enough time for them to recover after what we saw last round?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
Don't let this fighter's speed fool you. There's some method to the madness. These are precision shots, and they're coming at lightning speed.
Let me explain to you about a fast fighter that's got hand speed and footwork. They're relaxed. They're confident. They know they just have to quick burst, boom. In a split second, they've let 4 shots go. Their footwork has got them out of the way. And these guys are so relaxed. And that's why they can maintain this all the way through a fight.
Well done with that counter shot. Straight right just misses. They've got to use their jab better in this fight. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
This has been a very competitive round between these two.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Well, they're going deep into the gas tank on this round. Just missed with that hook. As we burn through these rounds, this aggressive fighter continues to come forward, seemingly with endless energy, John.
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there. They want you to stand there toe-to-toe with them and have a tear. That's what they do in the gym every single day of the week. What you've got to do is you've got to frustrate them as they set their shot. Get out of the way. And they'll get so angry, so frustrated because they can't work.
Competitive round with 10 seconds left. A pretty lopsided decision there, a unanimous one.
They've done it before, now they're doing it again, and look what's happened. A unanimous decision. What a way, what tactics, what a game plan. But what a result.
I kept him on the end of my ship. The 10th round was a horrible round for me.